Alright, boys and girls, we got ye ol' fake jungle carbine, as we learned from our wonderful commenters in the last video. As I've stated many times on both the Mike Papa Kilo channel before it was banned and the current Mike Papa Millsurp channel. I'm not an expert on this stuff, that's why I don't go over all the markings like, you know, Ian McCullum would, or someone who's even more knowledgeable than him on a certain topic. Apparently, the jungle carbines would have had a full tangent sight back here. Now, you can see this very well may have had one. I don't know if the mount would have been different if it was a full tangent sight with a aperture built into it where the whole ladder would pop up. But this has just got a simple flip sight. And they had mentioned they saw a marking on the side of the receiver that would indicate this is actually a number 4 that had been cut down. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, not an expert. But we've got whatever this thing is. It's meant to look like a jungle carbine. And then we saw on the front of this thing, it's got a Navy Arms import mark on it that I didn't know about until I Googled it and put it in an annotation in the video. So this is either a Gibbs custom gun that was just imported as a number 4 Mark 1 that was probably cruddy like I had thought about initially. The nail, I'm sure, was Granddad's custom fix for the rear sight. But this was obviously never an original military rifle. Someone had touched it along the way. But what I noticed when I took it out of the bag is this thing is not bedded at all. So they just threw a stock on this thing. Yes, that action screw is very tight. So I don't know if it would be worth going through the base of this and reinforcing it better. When we took it apart, there was no obvious signs of damage, but this thing has only been shot a couple of times. But yeah, I assumed this was Granddad. Maybe it was, I don't know. But maybe these were just really poorly fitted stocks that were just thrown together and sold as your tactical SKS of the 1970s. So yeah, we'll see how it shoots today. I got 2 different types of ammo. I got some reloads. This is not privy partisan ammo. You can see brass is kind of tarnished and I've annealed it. This is some Norma brass that I had. Looks like there's some Winchester and some other types of brass mixed in there. But we're sitting on 39.5 grains of shooter's rolled tack, probably going 180 grain, probably going 2300, 2400. I'm surprised I didn't mark that on the box. And then what I started the channel with was doing ammo teardowns, which is something I really need to get back into. Once I get my new setup going, I'll do that. We got some Michael Jackson ammo. Oh, MU, sorry, not MJ. And looks like this is actually some World War II stuff, so it's actually got cordite in it, I'm sure. I got a bunch of this nasty crap from an auction years ago. We got some U-45. Yeah, so we got some World War II stuff we're going to shoot today. That stuff's going to smell really good. If you don't know what cordite is, wait for the ammo teardown. And of course, I forgot my tripod, so please excuse the terrible video angle. See how this turd runs. Of course, this is marked 300 meters, so I'm going to be aiming at the bottom of the paper. Cool. Doesn't want to feed out of the last round very well. This thing definitely hops up and down. That muzzle brake is not doing anything. But yeah, this is very typical jungle carbine. Not exactly a interesting or fun gun to shoot. No signs of poor chamber overpressure, which is what I kind of figured. See if we can get 3 similar head stamps here. So this is the U45, U43, and U43. They all have a 7 stamped on them, so maybe they're all made in July. Try these out. Not very often you get to shoot World War II ammo. And I probably paid maybe 70 cents around for this stuff. I don't know. It's been so long. It's definitely World War II ammo. Go figure. And we already knew the firing pin protrusion of this is not very good, because these barely got hit. Try it again. Yeah. These probably won't pop, which I think I already said in the other video. Yeah. These World War II primers are probably really hard. Really awesome sear engagement. Yes, right side does not want to feed worth a damn on the last round. I don't know how this would be legal in a multi-gun match if you're trying to do a mag change with your finger inside the trigger guard. Yeah. I'll shoot 3 more reloads. With my wobbly stock. Pushing primers out of this old brass. I think we're hitting like 8 inches right of where I'm aiming, so that doesn't really help either. What in the custom with a K is going on here? Oh, the magazine followers binding up. This is definitely a Pro Mag magazine. The 1970s equivalent of it. Alright, let's go check that out. Stay. Good dog. I guess we'll look at these unpopped primers first. Very sad little dimples. Definitely needs a longer firing pin if you want to shoot anything other than soft commercial primers. You can see it's barely making it go kaboom. Like I said, this old brass is pushing the primers out too, but it's not overpressured. Alright, see if we got any hits. Well, hell, kind of hits point of aim. I don't know if that's a tumbling round or 2, but we got one down here. That must be a tumbling round or a weird tear. So yeah, it actually kind of hits point of aim with my 180 grain loads. I guess we'll aim at the center for 2 more groups. Interesting. Of course, the student amongst you will know that the 303 British is not like American 30 caliber. It is not a 308 projectile. These are actually Spear 311 diameter, 180 grain projectiles. So just a word to the wise, don't reload your Mosins, your Japanese Type 99s, your Lee Enfield 303s, and there's probably another one I'm forgetting. Don't reload those with 308s. 7.62 by 39 if you're crazy enough to reload that. They're all 311 diameter or 309. The Swiss are 306. Yeah, the French is 309, the Swiss is 306. They're not 308. That's long story short, they're not 308. Of course, I forgot all my Lee Enfield chargers, so I gotta load these like a peasant, one by one. But yeah, the gun shoots. It seems to be somewhat zeroed. I should have known to aim centered if it was zeroed at 300 yards. Usually, you're close to 25 and 50 as a point of aim, point of impact. See if we'll load all 6 of these. I'll aim dead center. last round. She runs. And like I said, the bore's pretty minty, so I don't know. If these aren't grouping, it's either because it doesn't like this, what is essentially a military load. It's definitely not a cold load. Or it doesn't like this bottlenose projectile. These were designed for a Spitzer bullet, which I'm not paying for expensive Spitzer bullets. So I got a case rep through here. Old brass. I tried to save this brass by annealing it, but this chamber is not exactly tight. Like I said, this was probably a really worn rifle. And I mean, this brass has already been shot 3 times, and this is some 1943 Winchester brass, so it wasn't exactly known for being high quality brass during the wartime, so that one's got to be retired. See how we did. Oh shoot, that's not bad. Might be trigger pull, shooting left of center. Might not be used to these aperture sights, but that thing shoots pretty dang good. See how it does at 100. Got like 8 rounds left here. See how we do at 100. Don't know that this compensator is really doing anything, but I'm sure it's quite loud. And this 77.5 millimeters overall length is pretty good for feeding, except for that last round, which I think is the gun's fault. Alright, dead hold. And a failure to fire. Try it again. Like I said, this was a good overall length. We got around, there we go. So the magazine follower is not strong enough. Probably went under. Same thing, magazine follower, spring is not working. There we go. She shoots. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Oh. As many of you guys know, the Lee Enfield is known for being the fastest gun of the Western Front. Being 10 rounds and having that bolt action of speed and power, because your bolt kind of lands right next to where the trigger is. You can use your middle finger and shoot quite quickly. And it has twice the standard round capacity of any bolt gun before, well, and after World War II. Very few bolt guns had 6 rounds, like the Remington Lees, American 30-06s were 6 rounds, the Schmidt Rubens were 6 rounds, but unless you had a trench mag that held 25, you only had 5. So, see, I can't get you guys a good look at these aperture sights that the first time I shot one of these, I really hated. Let's see if we can focus on the front. No. Not at all. There we go. So definitely battle worthy, just like the M1 Garand. So there you go. Pretty cool gun. I don't hate this. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I guess I didn't realize how much of this brass was historic that I was shooting. Quite a bit of it is 1940s Winchester stuff. That's pretty neat. Probably all of this has got to be retired now. Interesting. The more you know.